What's going on? New week, new shenanigans. So I'm going to start this video by saying I don't know how much I'm going to get done this week. I have a ton of outside crap that I have to do. So the bus, I'm going to try and get some stuff done, don't get me wrong, but no guarantees. So now I'll go ahead and start by saying what I'm about to do. I'm kind of not sad about it, but it will suck seeing it go. So each year, the main show that I focus on is the Burnout on 66. And that's in Catoosa in October each year. And I try to do everything that I can to make it there. And I haven't missed a year yet. So, but they have some of the coolest trophies there. And I might be taking one apart today to be able to use on the bus. So I won this trophy. Let me show you. So this is the trophy for best rat rod last year. And it's built by these guys right here. And if you don't know who they are, they built some badass drag cars and do very good work. They did a lot of work for Larry Baker. He had done a huge remodel on his Impala on the latest one. So these guys had built this chair, and I mean, it's just sweet. It looks like you're sitting in a chair that has zoomies coming out the side of it, which is killer. But the idea is to use that in the bus. So the original seat that I planned on using was that old tractor seat in the backing. Well, if I ever do plan on driving this thing around, I don't want to be sitting in that. I want to be in something that's a little bit more rigid and a little bit more safe. And that's where the race seat comes in. So the plan is to cut these legs right here so the seat does unbolt. But these legs will probably be the perfect height on what I need on the bus. And if I do that, I'm going to put some plates down here, some flat iron, bolt it down into the bus body itself, and that should hold it pretty sturdy. So yeah, I'm going to start with that. So I'm going to cut these legs, get that where it needs to go. But like I said, this is kind of sad. I really don't want to do this, but at the same time, it'd be cool to incorporate that into the bus. So that's what I plan on doing. I'm going to grab the grinder, get a couple things cut here. We're going to stick it in there and see how she looks. All right, so it looks a lot safer. On the bottom here, I plan on putting angle iron actually. So I'll put angle, smooth it down on the back so you don't step on it. I weld this chair to the actual angle and then bolt the angle into the floorboard. And then I need to go ahead and come up with a plate to get this gas pedal to go about right here. So that's going to mount there. And once that is mounted, I will be able to go ahead and mount the brake booster and get all that other crap mounted over there. So, as far as this, I don't know if I really want to plate it here, or if I want to come up from this angle and just make a stand for this to actually sit on. Whichever one would work. I mean, the only disadvantage of doing a plate is if I plate this, I need to take this battery out, it's going to be a little bit less accessible to get to it. So I'm not 100% yet, but I do have some plate that I could probably use to cover that, but I don't know. So that'll be the next step, is get some angle iron, weld that to the bottom of that chair, and then I can bolt that chair into place. So all right, new day. Nice and warm outside today, but we got some work to do, so need to get with it. Let me show you what's going on. All right, so I got the seat welded onto that strap. 2 bolt holes are drilled. Need to drill through the flooring. The back, I'm actually hitting a cross member, so that'll be good. I can actually bolt that through the cross member. That'll hold it pretty sturdy. And this is our plate. So the plate is actually going to hold the gas pedal and the brake pedal over there. So once I figure out what type of brakes we're going to put on it, we'll be able to put that on. So once the gas pedal's on, I can actually measure to be able to get a throttle cable coming and be able to have a gas pedal. So that'll be cool. But for right now, I'm going to finish getting this seat mounted, and then I will worry about the gas pedal. Okay, well, didn't do a time lapse or nothing. It's hard to get anything in here. But got the chair mounted, got the plate mounted, got the gas pedal mounted. And everything, oh, and that step is so much nicer. Everything is pretty solid here. Chair's nice. Gas pedal, perfect. Steering wheel. It's kind of a little ways away, but I'm not sweating it. I mean, I can still grab onto it. So sorry about that. I got a phone call and it ended my video. But so anyways, yeah, gas pedal's in. Need to get me a brake pedal going here. And throttle cable, measured that. So what's actually going to have to happen is, let me show you here. All right, so the throttle cable is actually going to come out the back here, loop down, go underneath the floorboard, come up the back of the engine block and hook up to the carburetor. So it's going to make basically a big half of a paper clip. And the cable itself is 9 feet long. So I need to get that ordered today. Napa is actually closed. Napa is the only one that I can actually get a throttle cable different lengths. Other than factory, O'Reilly's has like a universal one, but it's only, I think, at most 30 inches long. So that's not even close. But anyway, so the seat being mounted, the gas pedal being mounted, those are big things. Shifter will be a next big step to be able to have that done. So I might see if I can't find a U shifter or something like that. Or I might make my own. I'm not too sure yet. But, so yeah, big progress, I feel like. To you guys, might not be very much, but that was a huge thing to be able to drive this bus. And it's a lot safer than the other seat that I was going to use. So, anyways, that is it for today. I'm going to get some stuff ordered here. All right, today's Friday. Finally, Friday. 4-day week. Felt like it was an 8-day week. But back out here on the bus. Luckily, be able to get a couple things done, I hope. I looked and looked for a throttle cable. Napa and O'Reilly's and all that. They can't give me a 9-foot throttle cable. I was told basically go online and good luck. So I went online. I'm not paying those prices for that crap. So just like the transmission lines, we got brake line. Same size actually too. This is going to be 5/16, and I have cable. So basically with the throttle cable, if you're going a long ways, you don't want to just use a piece of cable like this because it can get caught on things. So with the brake line, the plan is to feed it through the brake line and bend the brake line how I would a throttle cable. But here's our, this is going to connect to the gas pedal. It's pretty bulky, but this is all I could get a hold of. So this will connect on the gas pedal. It's not going to be a big issue at all. The one on the throttle linkage, I am going to have to do a little bit something different on it. But we'll figure that out whenever I get there. So I got unions. This is a 4-foot piece, and then I have a 6-foot piece. So I'm actually going 10 feet on the line itself. But now we have these bushings here. And the idea with the bushings is to be able to drill them out so this cable will fit through. So I am going to go ahead and feed it through this side. Go ahead and kind of get it started here so I can connect these two. Got another bushing here. Union fits right over it. We get this line. And we're the same way. So pretty simple, nothing to it. And then whichever way I need to go, I can bend this and really just go from there. So I'm gonna start messing with this. All right, so it helps whenever you press record on the phone, so I didn't get any of this like I thought I did, but so I got this mounted so this brake line is stiff, but here's the bad part. Whenever you hit this, it stays full throttle. Now the reason being is because this part right here that I smashed down for that cable not to move is too bulky, so it's actually hitting. So I'm going to take that cable off and run down the road to True Value, see if I can't get something a little bit smaller. Smaller cable will actually be better. It's a lot less drag. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to run into town, see if I can find some. All right, luckily they had some smaller cable, and I already had these ends, so and they feed in the same exact way. Then you just bend it. Then you take a hammer and hammer the crap out of it. So, all right, well, I got jumper cables here because I'm gonna try and start it and see if it actually works. But I got the line ran on both sides. So right there, it's actually I got a loop there. And then what I ended up doing was taking the line and squishing it through a couple washers. Got it bolted there, bracketed. Should do good. But we're gonna start it here. See what happens if it starts. I haven't started it in a minute, so bear with me. Okay, had to start the pig up, give her a little bit more juice. Been letting it charge for a couple minutes here. I'm turning the power on, give her a little pump. Looking good. Now, we have a gas pedal. Oh man, that feels pretty damn good. And nothing flew apart here, so that's also a plus. Awesome. Need to get that strap down a little bit better. So, got a gas pedal? Need a gas pedal? No, need a stopper pedal. And also realize I need to do the power steering lines. Whenever I drive this, I don't want to smack anything on the way out. So stopper pedal, power steering lines. Let's see what else. I mean, we're pretty close. I shut my pickup off. But also found out that this morning that the drive line has been cut and it's welded back together. So hoping to pick that up tomorrow or the next day. And I'll be able to put that in. So I'm hoping that works, because the amount of driveline angle that I have is kind of concerning. Just for the fact, because the angle of it actually might be too much for the yokes to where they actually hit each other. And if that's the case, then we're gonna have to do some very serious changing as far as the rear end and whatnot. So if it is to that case where it's too steep, I'll end up having to lift the rear end up or tilt it up. The only bad part about tilting it up is I welded the pads on there, the centering pads. So the idea is what I would have to do is actually drop that rear end a little bit and have to cut those and rotate the rear end. And also with rotating the rear end, what you're doing is actually shoving that driveline further. So hopefully it doesn't go too far into the transmission. But this is all just stuff I'm thinking. It may not work out like that. It may work out perfect whenever I put the driveline in. It may not rub. I mean, we could be okay. So, but like I said, I'm hoping to get that tomorrow and get the driveline in. That's also a major deal that would be done. So getting closer and closer on this thing, and it is becoming very, very real. So been busting my ass, and very appreciative of all the support and everything too. So big shout out to you guys for keeping me invested in actually filming some of this. But other than that, that's about it today. I'm gonna go get cleaned up and whatnot. So I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. All right, we're back on bus today. Today's Saturday. This is the finished driveline. So big shout out to Alan. Appreciate you doing this. This is a lot shorter now that it's in person, thinking about it. But I'm gonna slide under there, try and bolt it up, and we're gonna see how all this works out. So hopefully we won't have any clearance issues. I really don't want to rub that, so if we can stay away from that, awesome. So here we go. All right, got this thing tightened up. I mean, it is solid. It looks very good. So that's all tightened down. That has plenty of clearance, so it's actually coming out a little bit farther out of the transmission than I thought it was. But that could be because whenever I measured this, the front axle was off the ground, so it actually pushed it in further than what it should have been. And then whenever I let it back down, it probably pulled it out. So the shaft would actually needed to be another half to an inch longer, really. But we still got good clearance on it, so it's fine. We should be able to run it. And we got the offset U-joint, so we did not have to change the yoke or nothing. Everything bolted up great. So huge plus there. Next deal before I do anything, honestly, is I need to make sure that I can stop this bus before I put it in gear or anything else like that. Because if I can't, then I mean it'll keep going. So I need to get a shifter and I need to get brakes. So I know I've said it 1,000 times in this video, but that is the next priority on what I need to do. So I'm gonna start looking to that, see what I can come up with, and kind of go from there. But as of right now, I think that may be as far as I end up going. So that's a pretty viable piece there. But quick recap though on what we did is we got the seat in, gas pedals in, drive lines in, did a couple smaller things, and doesn't sound like very much, but without a seat you can't drive. I guess you could if you had a milk crate, but if you got a gas pedal you can't drive. Without a drive line you ain't gonna move. So three pretty important parts in what happened. So anyways, I need to go ahead and do some looking, see what I can come up with. But I appreciate you guys watching. Getting quite a few new people on the channel, which is pretty cool. I know that we started at around 250 subscribers first of this week, and we're over 500 now in 1 week. So that's awesome. Looking forward to seeing how far we can go with this and everything. But as far as the bus content, I'm still working on this thing. Still gonna get you guys videos whenever I can. But like always, appreciate you guys and look forward to see what we do next week. Thanks.